Hi there, and welcome back to Understanding Personal Bankruptcy in Canada, the fifth and final video of the 5-video introduction series. Today we will discuss what debts are discharged in a bankruptcy and getting the advice from people like moneyandbusiness.ca and a trustee in bankruptcy. And finally, how to declare personal bankruptcy or file a consumer proposal. This video discusses the kinds of debts that are discharged in a personal bankruptcy and the kinds of debts that are not discharged. The second section deals with getting advice from a trustee in bankruptcy, and the last section deals with how to declare personal bankruptcy in Canada. All unsecured loans can be included, and this includes all credit cards, any overdrafts, and personal lines of credit. If there was a business loan that was personally guaranteed, then that loan can be included here as well. Payday loans can also be included. However, since a wage garnishment clause may have been enacted, then the bankruptcy process may have to be started to stop the procession of the wage garnishment process. All student loans that have been completed 7 years from the date the student ceased to be a student can be included in a bankruptcy. In some cases, if a person can prove a hardship case, then student loans can be included for up to 5 years after the student ceased to be a student. Sometimes a sole proprietorship or corporate tax may be included in the bankruptcy if the director or all directors go bankrupt. However, CPP or EL premiums are not included. The above is general advice, and all cases are case-specific. So what about cosign loans or joint lines of credit? If one party goes bankrupt, then the financial institution will call the loan. Calling a loan means they require the full amount immediately from the other person. In some cases, this may force the cosigner to declare bankruptcy as well. Your mortgage can be voluntarily included in a bankruptcy, or if there is equity in it, your trustee will require the equity of the home. There is no difference between a secured loan and an unsecured loan in personal bankruptcy. Secured loans can include a house, car, boat, and cottage. Both can be included. Utility bills such as gas, electricity, water, home phones, cellular phones, and internet bills can be included in your bankruptcy. However, this is not recommended, as these services will still be required. It is recommended to try and pay these off and keep these accounts in good standing. So what debts are not discharged in a personal bankruptcy? These include fines, support payments, alimony, or any other court-appointed payments. So, where can you get advice on how to move forward? You can use services such as moneyandbusiness.ca, which provides the advice of those who previously have gone bankrupt. From such people, you would learn many little things a trustee would not tell you. Even though such advice is in good faith, it will have its limitations. If you decide to go personally bankrupt, then we strongly suggest that you get the ebook entitled 5 Things to Do Before Declaring Personally Bankrupt in Canada, written by moneyandbusiness.ca, and includes advice from those who have previously declared bankrupt. It contains 5 suggestions and 8 sub-suggestions that will make your life easier after bankruptcy. This ebook is free, as described later in this video. However, this advice must be needed before the bankruptcy process. However, ultimately, you will need to speak to a trustee in bankruptcy. A trustee in bankruptcy is the only legal person to assist you with this process and is licensed by the Government of Canada. They are the only people to answer hard questions, such as if your home will be kept or what other assets may have to be given up. However, before you meet your trustee, try to understand that person. Your trustee in bankruptcy is there to take all of your assets and sell them, and take the proceeds and distribute them among the creditors. The trustee is a go-between you, your creditors, and the Government of Canada, and is governed by the Bankruptcy and Insolvency Act. A trustee in bankruptcy is governed by a code of conduct, and most of the trustees are highly professional people. However, like every other profession, there are those that are guilty of improper conduct and can be suspended from performing their duties. There are many stories of incorrectly filed bankruptcy proceedings that have left the bankrupt in financial hell afterward. So how do you find a good trustee in bankruptcy? You can take a risk and walk into any office that advertises bankruptcy services. Or you can let people like moneyandbusiness.ca recommend one for you. The ebook 5 Things to Do Before Declaring Personally Bankrupt in Canada is free to anyone who uses the recommendations of moneyandbusiness.ca for their trustee. Now comes the big question. How does a person declare bankruptcy or file a proposal? First, do what you have started and get answers to common questions. Secondly, you should speak to a trustee in bankruptcy and get specific answers than what is provided here. Note that some trustees may not provide full information as they wait for the documents to be signed first. This is the reason why moneyandbusiness.ca has formulated this 5-video series to better inform you before a trustee is met. If you do decide to go bankrupt, stop paying all bills for 3 months and save the money that would have been paid in bills for these 3 months and use this to pay your trustee. From 60 days and onwards, creditors will begin to call. Ignore them. After 90 days, legal action including wage garnishment and asset seizures can begin. After 3 months of no bill payments, go back to the trustee that we have recommended and file documents for bankruptcy or a consumer proposal. If any creditors call afterward, give them the name of the trustee and have the creditors contact the trustee. After a while, the phone calls will stop. And in summary, most kinds of debts are discharged with the exception of fines, alimony, support payments, and other court-defined payments. After bills have been in array for 3 months, a bankruptcy or a consumer proposal can be filed. A consultation with a trustee in bankruptcy must be used to start the process. You can take a risk in using a random trustee or have moneyandbusiness.ca recommend one for you.